All right, folks, I'm Joel Dean, the place to be, and we're talking about stuff going on the day before Halloween. This is your 21 Next for October 30th. I want to bring Andrew Klein in here right now. People should maybe dress up as nicer people for Halloween, maybe, based on the story that you're about to tell us. You're in Lancaster County. On the surface, this may seem like a story that's unbelievable, but people don't have patience, and we got to find a solution to this. Take us through it.
Well, right. So the story goes as this. So Cyrus is the little boy you just saw in that picture. He was born with spinal muscular atrophy. He's 7 years old, so he's in a wheelchair, and he takes a special school bus every day. It's a bus that is specially designed for kids in wheelchairs and with disabilities to safely escort them on and off the bus.
Okay.
Now,
we've seen those everywhere, right? We've seen them before.
Right. So what's so interesting about this and why this is, something we're talking about is there every single day. And this has happened for 3 years, but it's gotten so much worse this year. Is, of course, the bus stops. There's a line of cars behind that bus, and these drivers are screaming at this kid, 7-year-old kid.
How long does it take? Let's start with that. How long does it take from when they stop and then to where they can go again after he's loaded up safely and everything else?
Yeah, his parents say less than 5 minutes. So, a normal bus stop probably takes, 2-3 minutes, depending on how many kids are getting off.
No, normal bus is 25 seconds, maybe 30.
Okay. So, yeah, it takes a few more minutes because, of course, they need to use the machinery to bring him up, bring him off.
Right.
You can't go too fast. So it will lead to, a small line of cars. And you'll have to wait those, 3, 4, 5 minutes. And there's so many drivers that will speed around the school bus and honk at them and yell at this kid who is 7 years old. And he loves going to school, Joe. This was one of the first questions I asked his parents was, does he like going to school? And they said, yes, he loves going to school. He loves his friends. He loves his teachers. He loves being at school. And this is causing him anxiety. It makes him feel like it's his fault that these drivers are getting angry and being impatient and just speeding around a school bus, which, you can't do that.
It's illegal. Yeah. I mean, it's in the morning, maybe they're late for work, whatever. It doesn't excuse it, but you could see how your patience is thin already in the morning. And now it's not a normal bus stop, which already people say is frustrating, but it's an extremely long one, 5 times longer than normal. Okay. Are there any solutions here? Tell me what they've been talking about. Awareness is nice. We can let people know what's going on, why this is taking so long, but where are we in terms of how to deal with this best?
Yeah, that's still a question that Cyrus's parents are trying to figure out because you can't, he has to get on the bus to go to school, and there's no real way to make this process faster. So, the solution to me is if you got to commute, this bus is going to be stopping you for a few minutes, leave earlier or take a different route.
Find another route. Yeah. I wonder if maybe some signage would work, so people would know why it's taken so long. Our son has these challenges. The bus stop here will take longer. Please plan accordingly or pack your patience. Well, anyway, there was some good news here recently. Tell me about a recent trip he had.
Yeah, so this was yesterday. The community really came together to create an escort, a special escort. So Cyrus got to go in this special car that is designed like a cow, and it moves.
That it right there? Okay.
And he was escorted to the school in this special car by himself. There was police escorts, and not only was it a police escort, it was the officer that works in the school that he has known since kindergarten, and somebody who is super, super close to Cyrus. The family knows this officer. So they escorted him to school. They basically kind of gave him a little parade. There were signs out there, people watching him go by, and just seeing the excitement on his face. And one other thing his parents told me, he loves to be the center of attention. So that's also special for him because he got to have that special moment while going to school, surrounded by a community that really came together to show this kid, we have your back. I know there are some people that, might get upset about the school bus, but the community really wanted to show him that, we're with you. We have your back.
Yeah. Well, he's the center of attention. in the morning too, when they're doing the pickup, but it's not the right kind of attention though. Give me an example, just how nasty this has become. What kind of things have they heard?
Yeah, I mean the one thing, they've said people yelling, people screaming at this kid, they're cursing at him, they're calling the police to I don't even know what they're calling the police to try to do to stop the bus from picking him up every morning. So it's been this constant harassment for the better part of 3 years at this point. And now his parents say there was one kind of real instance that they say kind of was the straw that broke the camel's back with this whole situation. And it was a gentleman. He was driving around and just blaring on his horn, screaming, cursing at this 7-year-old boy who has to get on the bus to go to school, and there's no other way to get there.
All right, so that one got pretty bad. I mean, the police can say something about that too, potentially. What did the parents tell you here?
Well, they say they've spoken to the police. When they spoke to the police, they, wanted some video or something like that. And Cyrus's mom spoke to me and she said, there are some days where she's the only parent doing the get on the bus to school.
Mm-hmm.
And she,
Right.
out of the two parents, is the one who's a little bit more anxious. So her first instinct isn't to pull out her phone. It's to try and help, maybe speed up the process or, help ease her child's nerves a little bit, however she can. So, they're trying to figure out some sort of a solution. Just don't know
The
exactly
thing
what that
I think
is.
would make sense. Yeah. So I mean, I suggest maybe how there was a portable signs, you can bring them up, you can take them down, maybe put it out in
Yeah.
the morning. Like there will be a stop here that is much longer than normal. Plan accordingly between this time and this time, or pack your patience. There's a boy with special, with special needs that takes extra time to get on the bus. Get ready. So maybe awareness would help. So what's going on. I mean, that's I think the frustration from some people is that they think bus, it takes this much time, and then it's nowhere near that much. Expectations can really be a problem, and then
And it might be a thing where people just don't understand. They might just, see
Right.
from 20 cars up or 10 cars up, they just see,
Right.
the top part where it says school bus, but they don't know what kind of a school bus it is. So I do think that's a good idea. Maybe putting a sign on each side saying, this school bus is coming through at this time. It'll be here for, from X time to X time, maybe 5 minutes could cause you a little bit of backup. If you're really in a rush, you're going to have to find, another route.
Plan accordingly, go another way, or pack your patience. We thank you in advance. I think that's going to be the only thing I can think of off the top of my head. And then, I think probably take some donations to, make a sign like that. Rhonda, we're with you. Unbelievable. People can be awful. We're trying to find a solution here. Looks like a great family. Final impression on this family after you've dealt with them a little bit today.
Yeah, I think they like the community that they're in. They've embraced it. They've lived here for 5 years in Strasbourg, and they want the best for their son. That's the one thing. They say he's a happy kid. He loves going to school. He loves his friends. He's so deeply connected to his emotions, and he understands what's happening when people are getting upset. And they just want to find a way for their son to not have to deal with that anymore when he's trying to do something as simple as going to school.
Yeah, unless they raise different, money about it and you had a different pickup. I know you were there today. Has drop off happened yet?
Drop off is happening. I think it just happened about 2 or 3 minutes ago.
Okay, well, let's let you get out there and see how things went today. So we'll talk to you about it at 5:00 on the news.
All right, sounds good. See you on TV.
All right, man, we'll see you then. All right, folks, so what you think? I mean, off the top of my head, the only solution I can think of is more awareness, and maybe these drivers who are probably not terrible people, but very, frustrated, in a rush, and uninformed may relax a little bit if they realize there's a real reason for this particular stop for the bus taking a lot longer than normal. If you have anything else on there, let us know. Maybe we can pass it along so this can become a story that doesn't happen anymore to this family. And you would hate for this kid who seemingly really likes school to turn the other way on this. Like, I don't even want to go because I know when I go outside, people are going to yell at me again. It's going to be contentious. It's going to be tough to deal with. So there you go. Interesting story. Andrew Klein has it for us, and we will see you more on the newscast for that at 5 and 6. Thanks for watching 21 Next. Tell us what you think.